boys and girls. I hope you've had a great day so far. This is Miss Sarah from Yoga Sprouts, and I have another beautiful story to read to you today. Now, I've never heard of this book. It was lent to me by the wonderful people at the Book Nook, so I could share it with you tonight online. And I just took a picture walk through this book, and I loved what I saw, and I read some of the story, and it is an excellent, excellent story. Now, you might have heard the nursery rhyme before about Humpty Dumpty, and it goes like this. It says, Humpty Dumpty sat on a wall. Humpty Dumpty had a great fall, and all the king's horses and all the king's men couldn't put Humpty together again. And it's quite a sad little nursery rhyme. Well, this book tells us what happened next to Humpty Dumpty, and I think you're going to like what happens to him. The name of this story is called After the Fall. It's written and illustrated by Dan Santat, and the little tagline under here says how Humpty Dumpty got back up again. The blurb on the back says, life begins when you get back up. And there's a nice little blurb on the inside pocket too of the dust jacket. It says, my name is Humpty Dumpty. I'm famous for falling off a wall. You may have heard about it, but that's only half the story, because I decided to get back up. And when I did, something amazing happened. This is the story about my life after the fall. Okay, let's read this story together. Let's take off the dust jacket as usual. Oh dear, look at this. Oh no. After the fall. How Humpty Dumpty got back up again. My name is Humpty Dumpty. This was my favorite spot, high up on the wall. I know, it's an odd place for an egg to be, but I loved being so close to the birds. Then one day, I fell. I'm sort of famous for that part. Folks called it the Great Fall, which sounds a little grand. It was just an accident, but it changed my life. Fortunately, all the king's men managed to put me back together. There were some parts, most of me. There were some parts that couldn't be healed with bandages and glue. After that day, I became afraid of heights. I was so scared that it kept me from enjoying some of my favorite things. He doesn't look very happy, does he? I walked past that wall every day, and I would think about climbing that ladder again. I really missed the birds and being high above the city, but I could never do it because I knew that accidents can happen. So eventually, I settled for watching the birds from the ground. It wasn't the same, but it was better than nothing. Then one day, an idea flew by. Making planes was harder than I thought. It was easy to get cuts and scratches. But day after day, I kept trying and trying. Until I got it just right. My plane was perfect, and it flew like nothing could stop it. I hadn't felt that happy in a long time. It wasn't the same as being up in the sky with the birds, but it was close enough. Unfortunately, accidents happen. They always do. I almost walked away again. But then I thought about all the time I'd spent working on my plane and all the other things I'd missed. I decided I was going to climb that wall. But the higher I got, the more nervous I felt. I didn't want to admit it, but I was terrified. I didn't look up. I didn't look down. I just kept climbing, one step at a time. Until I was no longer afraid. Maybe now you won't think of me as that egg who was famous for falling. Notice what's happening, he's getting some cracks. Hopefully, you'll remember me as the egg who got back up. And learned how to fly. I love the hopeful messages in this book. In fact, this is one of the most powerful and beautiful stories that I've read in a long time. I hope that you enjoyed it too. Thanks for joining, everyone. We'll see you next time.